$21.4 million. That is what leaked Netflix documents say it cost to make the first season of Squid Game. 9 episodes, all in. Less than the fictional prize money inside the show itself. The same documents put what that season was worth to Netflix at $891 million. An internal score of 41.7 times its cost. Now here is the man who wrote it, directed it, and lost 6 teeth making it when a newspaper asked if the show had made him rich. I'm not that rich. Netflix paid me according to the original contract. Same show, 2 very different payouts. This is how that happens. Everyone knows Squid Game was big. What most people miss is that the size of the hit and the size of the creator's check was set by 2 different deals. One built for a global subscription machine, the other for a Korean drama nobody wanted to fund. The gap between them is not a scandal Netflix hides. It is the business model working exactly as designed. And by the end, you will see why Netflix can say, with a straight face, that it cannot calculate what any single show earns. While its own internal spreadsheet says the number was 891 million. October 2021, Bloomberg gets hold of confidential Netflix documents. The headline numbers: production cost $21.4 million, impact value $891.1 million, efficiency 41.7 times. Impact value is not revenue. It is Netflix's own estimate of what a title contributes to the business, built from who watched, how many, and for how long. And the how many was staggering. 132 million accounts had watched at least 2 minutes within 23 days. Bridgerton, the previous record holder, had 82 million in 28. 89% of the people who started it watched more than one episode. 87 million finished the whole season. 66% inside those 23 days. Now put the cost next to a Hollywood tentpole. The 4th season of Stranger Things was reported at $30 million an episode. Squid Game's first season came in around $2.4 million an episode, roughly 1/12. Then Netflix said it out loud. Its third quarter 2021 letter to shareholders. Squid Game has become our biggest TV show ever. 142 million member households in 4 weeks. Number 1 in 94 countries, including the United States. That quarter, Netflix added 4.4 million paid subscribers against its own forecast of 3.5, and half of those new subscribers came from Asia Pacific. By January, it was counting hours instead. 1.65 billion hours viewed in 4 weeks, our biggest TV season ever. For scale, Netflix put $17.7 billion into content in 2021 on $30 billion of revenue. 21 million of that bought the biggest show in the company's history. That is the ROI side of the story. Now the fee side. Hwang Dong-hyuk wrote Squid Game in 2009. As a film, he was broke. A project had fallen through and he, his mother and his grandmother took out loans to get by. Korean studios turned the script down as too violent, too improbable. So he shelved it and made 3 other films instead. Silenced in 2011, Miss Granny in 2014, The Fortress in 2017. Roughly a decade after he wrote it, Netflix said yes, and it became a series. Creating, writing, and directing all 9 episodes cost him 6 teeth. His stated ambition was modest, to top the Netflix chart in America for a single day. Then in October 2021, with the show the biggest in Netflix history, The Guardian asked whether it had made him rich. His answer: I'm not that rich, but I do have enough. And it's not like Netflix is paying me a bonus. Netflix paid me according to the original contract. 3 years later, promoting season 2, he told the BBC, "Even though the first series was such a huge global success, honestly, I didn't make much. So doing the second series will help compensate me for the success of the first one too." Read that again. The sequel is partly the paycheck for the original. None of this is a mistake. It is the standard Korean deal. Netflix's Korea content chief Don Kang described it to Deadline in 2023. Most Korean partners work as producers for hire on a cost-plus commission basis. Netflix keeps the global IP and pays no residuals. His defense? We pay upfront sums that reflect what could be calculated as residuals, which in most cases lead to compensation at a higher level than if residuals were paid. In other words, you get your fee and your margin on day one. And if the show becomes the biggest thing on earth, that was priced in. It is why the Directors Guild of Korea went to the legislature asking to make residuals a legal obligation, and why the makers of Extraordinary Attorney Woo kept their IP and licensed Netflix only the international rights. Meanwhile, the money kept flowing the other way. In April 2023, Ted Sarandos, fresh from meeting South Korea's president, announced $2.5 billion for Korean content over 4 years, double everything Netflix had spent there since 2016. A hit that cost $21 million had unlocked a $2.5 billion budget line. Here is the mechanism. Netflix sells one thing, a monthly subscription. No ticket, no per episode price. So when a Korean research firm projected that season 2 would earn Netflix $1.5 trillion, about $1 billion, Netflix's official reply was, as a monthly subscription service, Netflix cannot generate additional revenue based on the number of views or viewing time of individual works. So it is impossible to calculate revenue based on the success of a single work. Strictly, that is true. And it is exactly why a creator cannot get a share of it. There is no per title revenue to share. But internally, Netflix does put a number on every title. That is what impact value is. And it is the number that decides what gets greenlit and where the next billions go. So the upside is measured just on one side of the table. Cost plus for the maker. Impact value for the platform. So the creator went back for the money, and so did the platform. Seasons 2 and 3 were shot back to back on a reported combined budget of about $100 billion, roughly $69 million, around 4 times season 1. Season 2, 68 million views in 4 days, a Netflix record. Season 3, 60.1 million in 3 days, a bigger one. On Netflix's all-time list, the 3 seasons of Squid Game are the 3 most watched non-English seasons ever. 265, 193, and 146 million views, 600 million in total. 6 Emmys, including the first drama directing Emmy ever won by an Asian filmmaker, Hwang Dong-hyuk. So who won? On Netflix's own maths, a $21 million bet scored 41 times its cost and became the reason for a $2.5 billion country strategy. The man who wrote it got his fee, 6 fewer teeth, and a second season to make up the difference. That is Squid Game economics. The game only pays out at the top. If the numbers behind the shows you watch interest you, subscribe. There is more like this coming.